Okay, so this is the part that stumps me. You have to leave the manor.
Like, as in just go outside, or...
You have to leave the DLC area. This is the only time you have to do that in this whole damn DLC.
Alright. That's all I need to know. Alright. Start asking around, maybe. Ever hear of a fella named McCready?
McCready? Nope, don't ring a bell.
Would have been about 17 years ago?
Heck, I got a long memory, but not that long. I only started working here 6 or 7 years ago anyhow.
What about the guest register?
We only keep those for the last couple of years. The only place I know that might have records as far back as what you need would be the post office.
Alright, thanks.
To the post office. I'm going with you, apparently. I'm in your brain.
My love.
I know you cheated on me with those 10 others between you. And I'm alright with it.
I'd like to send a postcard. I did send one today? Oh, okay. I actually didn't remember that, because that was a while ago. I'm trying to find a guy named McCready. There's a possibility he might have passed through here about 17 years ago.
Pass through. We don't stamp passports here.
Yeah,
If you stayed for a while, I might have a forwarding address.
Ooh, can you check, please?
Alright, them books we use at Dustin anyway. One sec.
She pulls some big ledgers out of her desk and blows a huge cloud of dust into the air and then starts leafing through them.
Oh, it's the lady.
Welcome to the end of the game, where we figured it out.
17 years from 78, 76, 77, 78. Marin, Mabelstead, McMurphy, McCready. Met McCready. That the one?
That's him.
No foreign address, but you can ask at his old place just out northwest of here. Let me see your map. Oh yeah, looks like you already got it here. Desert House. That's the one.
Thanks. Great address. Oh god, this is where we had the Desert House bandits. M. McCready, 1846-1887, stuck to his guns. Dig up the grave. You dig until your shovel hits a wooden coffin and haul the lid open. A skeleton blinks at you. Well, it doesn't, but anyway.
Howdy.
Howdy. Are you Guilty McCready?
Well now, ain't heard that nickname in, what year is it?
1895.
17 years. Nope, I tell a lot. There was that one time 8 years ago.
The same McCready that escaped the gallows during an eclipse?
Well, now, since the statute of limitations has expired, I might as well fess up. Yep, that was me. Real sweet plan, too. Apart from one little hitch, went off smooth as silk. You worked in a little misdirection to lead the law to them 2 other fellas instead of me. Serves them right, too. They was real murderers. Not like me. I never killed a man except in a fair fight.
Except for that one little hitch you mentioned? You miscalculated how long to delay the trial. So in order not to miss the eclipse, you called for a trial by combat.
Oh, well, yep, that's the truth of it. You blame me for Miss Wainwright's death, I suppose.
Why didn't you just trust her? She would have gotten you declared innocent.
She got a real good head on her shoulders, sure, but so did that prosecutor fella. I didn't rate the odds better than 50-50. Not good enough. Anyway, the trial by combat was part of her job. She should have been ready.
That stinks! She trusted you. She's a ghost now because she feels guilty about losing that trial. I've spent ages trying to convince her you weren't innocent, and she backed you every step of the way despite the fact that you got her killed, and you don't even care?
Ow, you bite your tongue, sonny. You don't know me. Don't care. I did what I had to do to stay alive, and I felt damn guilty about what happened to Miss Wainwright. But I ain't taking all the blame for it, no sir. She'd tell you herself she should have been better prepared, just like she told me that day, apologizing with her last breath. I gave up gunfighting for her. Gave up the only thing I lived for. That's how I felt about it.
You gave up gunfighting?
Weren't easy, but I did. Bought this house, bought this land, raised some chickens, had a little vegetable garden. Place has gone to hell since I died. That's a shame. Anyway, I never fired my pistol again. Not even at a damn fence post.
That's not what it says on your grave.
Well, read it again. That's the fellow what killed me. Having a little ironic joke, I reckon.
Someone killed you.
You're only the second person to track me down. First one was 9 years ago after the trial. Vic Tinsbury's brother, hunting for revenge.
What happened?
Challenged me to a duel. I told him I ain't doing that no more. He asked again. I said no. So he hollered at me, and I took my pistol out of the closet and threw it at his feet so he could see how the cylinder was all rusted shut. And he cocked his gun and asked me one last time. And I said no. And the last thing I remember is the bang.
Jeez.
Kinda had to bury me, though. Guess he weren't all bad.
Do you want to see Felicity again? I could take you to her ghost.
Yeah, I reckon I'll just go back to sleep. Ain't right, dead fella walking around. Just tell her sorry for me, alright? Here, you can give her my pocket watch. She'll recognize it.
Alright, bye, McCready.
So long, fella.
Close the coffin and fill the hole back in. Alright, let's hope this is finally enough.
How's that? Just a fucking admission from the guy himself. It's like, well, how did you get that? Oh, right, skeletons.
That's gonna be great. Okay, I really hope that she's like, how could you possibly get that? Dead people don't talk! Oh, wait.
But he wasn't a ghost. No, he was a skeleton. Is that also an option?
Damn, skeletons are way better than ghosts. I should have done that.
Nah, but if you're a ghost, you get to keep your face.
Hey, got a question for you. Are you ready for this?
I'm sorry, I couldn't, Rennie. I couldn't resist. What now?
I found McCready's grave. He wasn't executed.
You're 100% certain it's him, not some other man named McCready.
It was him. Here, he gave me his watch to give you. She turns the watch around in her hands for a while, just looking at it without saying anything. Then she slowly winds it and listens as it chimes the hour.
Yes, this is his watch, all right. Thank you. Wait, you said he gave it to you. He's alive?
Not exactly. He's a skeleton. We talked for a while, and then he asked me to bury him again so he could go back to sleep.
What'd he say?
He confirmed our guesses. He knew about the eclipse in advance and stalled the trial for his escape plan, but stalled it too long and decided to hedge his bet by calling for the trial by combat.
I see.
He gave up gunfighting.
He what?
He bought a little house and raised chickens. Never fired his pistol again. In fact, he left it to rust. 9 years later, Timsbury's brother caught up to him and challenged him to a revenge match. McCready refused repeatedly, so the guy shot him. He said to tell you he was sorry. She looks at you silently for a moment, then looks at the watch. She winds the hands back a minute and listens as it chimes again. She sighs and shakes her head, then smiles at you.
Thank you, Maximus. You make a damn fine attorney.
She shakes your hand and fades from view as she does so, leaving her attorney's badge in your hand. Rest in peace, counselor.
Good job.
Ugh!
Now check your badge. You know you want to.
Yeah. Jesus!
It is gives you something for all that effort you go through, I'll tell you that.
Better than fucking Ghost Water or whatever that place was called.
Yeah.
It's the three statues and Paul. Hey Paul, how's it going?
Ghost still there.
No, I took care of her.
Oh, thank God. Gotta go wash this flower off and get back to work. First,
He starts frantically stretching every part of his body.
man, it feels like I've been saving up these inches for days. I was about to go crazy. Thanks, Maximus. You're a lifesaver.
No problemo.
Come see me at the visitor center. I'll hook you up with a souvenir photograph.
Paul wanders off, still scratching. See ya!
Might as well go see him before we see if we can find that last ghost on the third floor.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
The only one that tripped me up about it when I did it was the fact that you had to leave the DLC for that last part, because I was convinced that you didn't have to leave the DLC for any of this. Thanks again for your help. What an ordeal.
No problem. How's the itching?
More or less better. I mean, hygiene is what it is in this day and age, you know.
You nod.
Like a souvenir photograph. It's only 200 meat.
Sure, I'll take one.
Okay, then smile.
Wait, this is a photograph of the house.
Yep, an official Gunmanor souvenir photo.
Why'd you take a picture of me then?
Oh, that's just for our records.
Okay. Alright, I'm just taking a look around. Right, I have all that stuff. Candy.
Didn't you already buy some gummy? Oh yeah, this is where you got all your sticks.
Personalized shot glasses. I already have one.
Sorry, only one photo per customer.
Not sure why anyone would want two, but fair enough.
Would you like some random info? Again. Doesn't he only mostly provide it about rocks?
Mrs. Gunn.
Oh boy, here we go again.
No, hang on. There is some, Nah, I think we already read that. I'm pretty sure. Alright.
So what's the photo do?
Nothing.
Okay. It reminds you of the time you bought this photograph.
Alright. I'm gonna go with a hunch that I have real quick. Knock, knock.
Yes?
It's Maximus and Florence, ma'am, the ghost hunters.
Florence and Maximus.
Whatever.
I do feel significantly less haunted. Did you get rid of all the ghosts?
We sure did, ma'am.
Actually, my scanner still says there's one.
Shh! Yes, ma'am! All ghosts accounted for.
That's splendid. Come right on in.
Thanks. Knew it! Fucking knew it!
Yeah. It's not like a well-hidden secret, but it's a neat little thing.
I'm gonna continue turning the lights off. I don't know why I started doing it, but I'm gonna keep doing it. The sign that says, break in case of attic.
Maybe don't break her shit when she's right there.
Hello, Mrs. Gunn.
Hello, Maximus was it? Thank you so much for getting rid of all those ghosts for me.
Yeah, about that. Turns out there's one left.
Oh dear. Well, I need you to take care of it before I pay you.
Mrs. Gunn, I've got some bad news for you.
Oh, what's that?
It's you. You're a ghost, ma'am.
Well, I'll be. When did that happen, I wonder?
My condolences.
Why, thank you. You're very kind. You know, this does explain some things.
Like what?
Well, I haven't had any appetite for months, nearly a year in fact. They kept sending food up from the kitchen in the dumbwaiter, but I've just been dropping it out the window and sending the empty plates back to the chef so he won't have her feelings hurt.
So he won't have her feelings hurt?
Shut up, I was reading fast.
There's also the fact that you're, well, translucent.
Yeah, I thought it was just cataracts.
Mrs. Gunn, this prompts a question, you know.
Oh, what's that?
Why are you a ghost?
Well, I'm sure I don't know. You're the expert. Perhaps you could tell me. Ahem. Actually, that's me. I'm the expert.
Do you have some kind of unfinished business? Something that's tying you to this place?
Well, now that you mention it, yes, I suppose I do.
Do you mind telling me about it?
My entire family disappeared a few years ago. My husband and 3 daughters.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. I'm sorry for your loss.
The sheriff suspected they'd been kidnapped for ransom, but no one ever made any demands. They just vanished. I never found out what happened. I always thought they were taken away by ghosts.
Why did you think that?
I've always felt guilty about how many people have been killed by my invention.
The belt buckle?
The gun.
Oh, right.
I used to worry that their ghosts would come back to haunt me. When I built this house, I had an electrical anti-ghost field installed in the walls of this room so they couldn't get in. No way. Awesome.
Wait, doesn't that affect you?
Well, I'm sure it would if I attempted to walk through the wall, but it never occurred to me to try.
Aha.
After Dan and the girls disappeared, I became so sure that ghosts had gotten them, I locked myself in here after donating the rest of the house to the Historical Society so there'd be someone to look after the place. Now I feel rather silly about the whole thing.
Silly? I mean, ghosts do exist, obviously.
Well, yes, but now that I'm a ghost myself, I can sense the presence of other ghosts, and they only just arrived in this house yesterday or the day before. That's when I called in for an exterminator. You know, I didn't even question how I knew they were here, but I don't think there have been any ghosts here before then.
Why did they all show up yesterday?
I couldn't say. They all seemed very angry and confused, but since they couldn't get in here, they gave up and just started wandering around the house. They gave up quite easily, actually.
Maybe because you were already a ghost yourself. Well, Mrs. Gunn, what are we going to do with you?
What do you mean? Oh, right, me. You did contract me for 13 ghosts, ma'am. You're the 13th. Oh, yes. Obviously, I could simply renegotiate the number with you, but perhaps you should go ahead and exorcise me or whatever you do.
I'd rather find a more peaceful solution.
A peaceful solution? What do you mean?
Well, we can also release you from your ghostitude by solving the problem that's keeping you here. In your case, I guess that means finding out what happened to your family.
Oh, well, I would be very grateful if you could. I assume they're dead, and to be honest, I think I got used to that fact, but I sure would like to know what actually happened.
Alright, I'll see what I can do. Gun parts. Hey, I got XP. Think about the things you've done. A lot of those things are pretty cool.
Alright,
not having a table in this room was not on the table.
This is kind of a blur at this point, because it all kind of like went pretty smoothly. You could maybe try the attic.
Sorry, just give me a moment. Alright. Attic opening stick. Whoops. Not yet, but hopefully soon. Alright. This is one of those sticks you use to open a trapdoor you can't reach by hand. You'd think there'd be a punchy name for this object, but you'd be wrong. Alright. Oh, where...
As far as I've seen, I believe everything is...
Wait, what the... Sorry. Now look at this. This sunflower was enchanted to not need natural light, so now it's an unflower. Alright, was the way to get into the attic in here? No? I don't see anything for it. Unless I get on the table for it. Nope.
We've been hearing a lot about Mr. Gunn and how he disappeared, what was it, like 6 or 7 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
This is the bowling alley fight place.
Oh yeah, it's just an infinite fight zone. Oh, there's a trapdoor in the ceiling here, and you just happen to have the stick for opening it.
Now, Hey, who the heck are you?
I'm Maximus Ryan but since I'm not the guy who's apparently hiding out in Mrs. Gunn's attic, I feel like you ought to be the one answering that question.
Who am I? Well, that's just freaking typical. I'm Chet Bullet, damn it.
Am I supposed to have heard that name before?
Yeah, well, shut up. Mrs. Gunn's invention would have been nothing without mine.
Wait, let me guess. You invented the bullet.
Ooh, for a second I thought for sure you were going to say belt buckle again.
Oh, shoot, now I want to change my guess.
Damn right, I invented the bullet. Sorry, that voice was hurting for some reason. But I was her assistant, so did I get any credit? Hell no.
Sounds like you've got an axe to grind.
Not for much longer. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, looks like we found the bad guy. Okay, Chet, go ahead and tell us the details of your whole nefarious plan.
I don't care much for your tone. Why should I tell you anything?
Well, if you don't want to take credit for whatever your genius plan is, I'm fine to let you languish in obscurity.
Well, it's too late for you to stop me anyway, so I suppose it wouldn't hurt to tell you.
Certainly not as much as not telling me would.
When Mrs. Gunn dies, control of the company and patents passes to me. And goddamn, why does this voice hurt my throat? Sorry, I think that was like just raspy enough to hurt. I'm no murderer, mind you. I like to keep my hands clean, But I figure there might be some other people who have a bone to pick with her, considering their manner of death.
You summoned all those ghosts?
That's right, all it took was some basic seance equipment wired up to the house's belfry for amplification. A snap for a mechanical genius like me. But seance gear summons ghosts related to the summoner. That's the whole point of a medium, the person who knows how to direct the summoning on someone else's behalf, so you get to talk to your own grandma instead of the summoners. But you don't seem like the medium type to me.
More like a small, but that does explain something I've been wondering about.
Oh?
It didn't make any sense for all the ghosts here to be haunting Mrs. Gunn, because some of them weren't killed by guns, but they were all killed by bullets!
Naturally, I anticipated there'd be a couple of those. That's why I rigged this room with an anti-ghost field, which I cleverly boosted so that ghosts couldn't even sense me up here.
So, your plan was to summon a bunch of angry ghosts who would initially be looking for you, but would haunt Mrs. Gunn instead when they couldn't find you.
Correct, and once they haunted her to death, gun industries would be all mine.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of good news, but Mrs. Gunn is dead. On the bright side, she's been dead for a year, so you pretty much wasted your time.
What, really? I'm rich, now I just need to get out of here without all those ghosts spotting me.
Yeah, the ghosts are gone too, so you're pretty much in the clear.
Wonderful, the anti-ghost field is pretty effective, but it was starting to make that part of my brain itch.
He flips a switch on an electrical device, and you suddenly become aware of the absence of an extremely low-frequency hum right on the edge of your hearing. There's something else I want to ask you about.
Ask away.
What happened to Mrs. Gunn's family?
Oh, them. They've been out of the picture for years. I heard a rumor Dan got killed by desperados and buried in a shallow grave out in the backside of nowhere. But of course, I wouldn't actually know anything about that. Lucky for me, since I couldn't have inherited the company with him around, or their daughters.
You son of a...
Relax, the girls are fine. I'm not a monster.
I'm pretty sure you're a monster.
There's a weird little island kingdom somewhere on the other side of the ocean. Apparently it's stuck in some kind of bizarre temporal field that keeps nearly anyone from entering or leaving. Can't even find the place if you don't know how. Fortunately, I know a guy who knows how, so I gave the girls 3 free tickets to sleepaway camp. Wasn't that nice of me?
You're an absolute bastard.
Oh, that hurts my feelings. Fortunately, I'm about to have a whole lot of money to console myself with.
Why, you...
Hold on. We should go talk to Mrs. Gunn first before you tear this ass a new hole. Huh? I thought you said she was dead.
Depending on what she says, you might be too. See if there's anything.
This is why that went smoothly, now that I'm recalling it.
Why?
Because you didn't have to go anywhere for this. You just took the thing in the room, looked around a bit, and then you found that.
Hi, Mrs. Gunn.
Hello again. Have you managed to find anything out?
Yeah, I have good news and bad news.
Go on, I'm ready.
Chet Bullitt had your husband killed and your daughters kidnapped so he'd be the sole inheritor of your company when you died. He's also the reason all the ghosts were here.
That son of a... I should have suspected something when he suddenly started being so ingratiating back then, and when he wrote off desperados on his expense account. I'd write him out of my will, but I suppose it's too late. That's rather galling. What's the good news?
He says your daughters are safe. They're just on a magical island somewhere that nobody could get to?
That's not exactly comforting, but at this point I'll take it. Plainly, if he wanted to kill them, he'd have just done so. Wait, you spoke to him personally?
Yeah. He didn't know you were already dead, so he's been hiding in your attic for the last couple days, waiting for the ghost to kill you. What do you want me to do with him?
I'll leave it up to you. I'm not in a state to make any reasoned judgment. In case you've answered my question, I can feel myself moving on already. Thank you for all your help.
With a sad wave, Mrs. Gunn fades from view. Then, almost as an afterthought, the lock on her desk drawer pops open. Inside, you find a check written out to Cunningham Ghost Annihilation Services, which flow stags with a cha-ching, and a blueprint. Alright.
Now, there's a gunsmith area in the basement, if you recall, which you can use that at. But I believe you also have some unfinished business you can do after that, if you like.
I want to kill him with this gun.
Now, I will say, there is another option, which I'm sure will become apparent whenever you talk to him.
I'm not letting him go.
Oh, I don't think that'll be an issue.
Mrs. Gunn's Opus.
Check out that shit.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna murder him. I'm gonna shoot.
No, just let's see what happens. I think you'll be quite satisfied. Because you may recall something he did. Rather, something he was doing, and then he stopped doing.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You have dialogue.
Well, we finished here. I got a business to run.
Ooh.
No, not direct.
Should I tell him to wait here or do the I'm sick of your face one?
You know what? Let me double check just so we don't ruin it.
Yeah, oh yeah, I do not want to screw this up.
Tell him to wait there. You got another puzzle to do.
I'm not done with you yet. Wait here. Alright.
Look around the room he's in.
Holy cow, there's some really big bells hanging above you. This house has the biggest bells of them all.
Also, more science doohickeys.
Maybe it operates the large bells hanging above you.
What would the 3-letter thing be that you had in this particular establishment? One last one.
Boom! As the eerie sound of the bells fades away, ethereal outlines begin to appear around you and resolve, one at a time, into familiar spirits. Monsieur Laudest, and then the lady who was running the Boo and Breakfast, and the librarian. You know, you really didn't get very many other names. Maybe you should be better about introducing yourself to people. Anyway, you're soon surrounded by a small crowd of ghosts, with Mrs. Gunn being the last to arrive.
This is the bell tower of my house, Maximus. What happened? Yeah, nice to see you again. But what's up, counselor?
I suppose you're all wondering why I've summoned you here today.
Just imagine yourself in the fireside parlor with your hands behind your back.
sitting in a chair.
Now you gotta stand in front of the fire while they're all sitting. I did just ask you that, yes.
Well, I've come into some information that I think you all might be interested in.
This won't take long, will it? I need to get back to the afterlife.
What's the hurry?
They've got an all-you-can-eat buffet with every kind of meat in nugget form.
Oh my gosh. You unholster your pistol and slowly put it against your temple.
Get there that way, you dummy.
Rats. You put the gun away again. Anyway, let me explain.
Nuggets.
Felicity, how did you feel when you got here? Originally, I mean.
Well, I remember being very angry. I wanted revenge for my death, but the feeling went away pretty quickly, and I couldn't remember why I felt like that. I'm not the vengeful type.
Doesn't even really make sense in your case.
Yes, exactly. I never bore any ill will towards the prosecutor that shot me.
Was it basically the same for the rest of you?
Just like that, yes. Myself as well. Me too.
Thought so. Well, here's the deal. You were all summoned for the explicit purpose of taking revenge on Mrs. Gunn here.
Attendez, I was not killed by Le Gun. I wasn't either.
Yeah, some of you weren't. The summoning happened based on your connection to the summoner himself, Chet Bullet, the inventor of the bullet. But he was hiding with anti-ghost technology and assumed that enough of your deaths would be gun-related that you turn your attention to Mrs. Gunn instead.
Well, that's just dirty pool, and I should know, considering how I got shot for playing dirty pool.
The thing is, he didn't know that Mrs. Gunn was already a ghost, so with nobody to take revenge on, you all just reverted to your regular state of mind.
Well, I appreciate the info, but was it really necessary to call us all back to just tell us that?
What I really wanted to tell you is that Chet Bullet has turned off his anti-ghost field. He's over there at the other end of the attic. Now, I'm not going to make any noise about how he's ultimately responsible for all your deaths, because that would be both crazy and also belittle the actual circumstances of your deaths. But Chet Bullet murdered Mrs. Gunn's husband, kidnapped her daughters, and attempted to use you all to kill Mrs. Gunn herself. So if y'all are interested in a little frontier justice, 13 is a pretty good number for a posse. The ghosts all turn to look at each other, and their eyes begin to glow red. The hunter is the first to leave the circle, closely followed by the poacher. Soon they've all left except for Felicity Wainwright and Mrs. Gunn. Mrs. Gunn looks hesitant for a moment, then seems to make up her mind. She gives you a stern nod and follows the others. You turn away and soon hear a man screaming, but the sound quickly decreases in volume as though he were being pulled a great distance away, and then it's gone entirely. I figured you wouldn't be into it, Felicity.
Yeah, despite everything, I still believe in the rule of the law.
Didn't see you trying to stop them, though.
Nope, no, you certainly didn't.
Well, I won't keep you any longer. Happy trails, counselor.
You too, counselor. Badge looks good on you.
She fades away with the wind. All's well that ends well. Well, that's it. You reckon that your careful recon of the situation has brought some true reckoning to Gun Manor. Congratulations on getting the best ending. Feel free to wander around the grounds and enjoy the scenery and wrap up with loose ends, but otherwise you're pretty much done here. Thanks for playing the Reckoning at Gun Manor.
There you go. I told you that ending was pretty satisfying.
Yeah.
It's like, just be like, hey, so, points arrow.
As the eerie sound of the bells fades away, nothing happens.
They're probably still busy torturing Chet.
Alright.
Oof.
There's just a weird black scourge mark on the floor where Chet was standing.
That's rough, buddy. But you deserve it. Give her last bit of science doodads.
Oh yeah, what do I do with the side stuff? I just give it to Flo.
Give it to her and it increases her attack power.
Found something for you.
Ooh, I love sciencey junk. Hey, look at this. It's one of those new Eldritch vacuum batteries Magimech Tech is making. I didn't think they were available in this region yet.
Florence shoves one of the science doohies you gave her into her weird backpack. Her gun damage has been increased. Nice. Don't have anything. Okay. Well.
And that's pretty much it. You solved the mystery, got some nice frontier revenge, became an attorney, and got the perfect gun.
And the perfect badge.
Yes. And you worked damn hard for that badge.
Yeah.
Between that and the gun that does your stats, you're almost universally deadly now.
Jesus. Well, I guess let's leave Gun Manor. We have left Gun Manor.
Yeah, it's not really a theatrical ending.